Hello everyone, it's Mason, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of my metal CD collection. This is going to be everything M to Z. Well, I guess V technically, but because I don't have anything with Z. But yeah, first we're going to start off with actually a local band, Maniacal Device. I saw them at a local show. It was kind of like a festival. We just had like a bunch of the local bands playing. And they were honestly probably my favorite. It's like if you like Suicidal Tendencies or Stormtroopers of Death, like that kind of crossover thrash, this band is for you. Like it is some of the best crossover I've ever heard. So if you're into that, check them out. They're on Apple Music and I'd assume Spotify. Next we have another local band from the 90s actually. Um, Mars. Sorry, I always can never remember if the band is Mars and the album's Metal Drone or the other way around. But I think the band is Mars. It's okay. It sounds like classic metal, like Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden kind of stuff. Not really my thing. Like I like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, but I don't know this. This just wasn't for me. I found it at a thrift store and I got it because it was a local band, but yeah. Next we have some one of my favorite black metal bands. Got some Mayhem. We have the Death Crush EP, the tribute to the Black Emperor's bootleg that has Morbid and then some Mayhem tracks, and then Out from the Dark, which is a live session with Dead on vocals. Sorry if you can see the glare of my tripod. That's just a plastic cup. Not in the best location to record stuff. But yeah. I got to see Mayhem live when they played with Cannibal Corpse last year. And it was honestly one of my favorite shows I've ever been to. I'm honestly surprised they're still kind of around. I mean, a lot of black metal bands from that time aren't. So yeah, it was really cool to see them. I also got a really cool tour shirt. Next we have a band I'm not too familiar with, but I'm kind of slowly getting into. We got Megadeth. We have Rust in Peace, Countdown to Extinction, and then Greatest Hits. For a while, I didn't like Megadeth because of the vocals, and I always just kind of assumed like I'll probably never like them. But I just gave them another try, and something has finally clicked. Honestly, I like some Megadeth albums over Metallica albums. It's kind of up in the air what I would choose to listen to. But I mean, for a while I just didn't. It's like why do people like this band? They're not great. But then something has clicked, and they're honestly probably in my top 10 metal bands. But yeah, just first album I got by them was just the Greatest Hits. Just kind of like to sample them, and then I found these at a thrift store or consignment shop or whatever it was. Let's see if I can try and fix the glare on this. Alright, next, speaking of Metallica, we have Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. My favorite of the first 4 albums is Kill 'Em All. I just haven't been able to find a copy of it in the jewel case. I've had one of the paper sleeve ones for a while, but I just prefer actual plastic cases, and I'm just kind of waiting to find one for cheap. But I mean, it's Metallica. Everyone knows them. Out of these albums, I'd say my favorite is probably Master of Puppets. We have some more Metallica coming up. We have Black Album, which is the first album by listened to by them. It's a classic. We have, honestly, one of my favorite releases, Garage Inc. It just has a bunch of covers, and I don't know, I just really like this album. It's probably because I like all of the songs they cover, but I don't know. For a while, it was probably my favorite Metallica release, weirdly enough. Next, we have Load and Reload. Not my favorite albums, but I found them at a yard sale for $1 each, so decided why not. We have best Metallica album ever, Saint Anger. Yeah, I haven't listened to it. It was at the same yard sale, so I decided to get it. And then we have Hardware to Self-Destruct. I actually really do like this album. I found it at a Goodwill, and it's the deluxe version. So pretty cool. Probably my favorite song is The Last We Rise or Moth into Flame. And also on the third disc, a lot of live tracks, which is pretty cool, of their older songs. Next, we got The Very Best of Motorhead. I'm not the biggest Motorhead fan, but I do like some of their songs, so I got just a greatest hits that has most of those songs on it. So, yeah. Next, we have MTV, The Return of Rock. This is just a compilation put out by Roadrunner and MTV. Has a lot of like, new and alternative metal. Spit It Out by Slipknot. Korn's Make Me Bad. System of a Down. Pretty cool release. I'm glad When Worlds Collide is on here by Powerman 5000. Yeah, I can't fucking speak. Powerman 5000, because that's really the only song I like by them, and I don't have to go my way to buy a full album. Next we have Mudvayne. Forget what album this is. The Beginning of All Things to End. I found this at a thrift store. I never really listened to Mudvayne, and I decided to get it, and it was okay. Not something I'd listen to every day, but pretty cool. I can get my camera to focus. Next, we have some of the few grindcore CDs I have. I really do like grindcore. Their CDs in that genre are kind of expensive. We have Napalm Death Scum, which is probably my favorite grindcore album. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Not much I can say. We have Harmony Corruption. I bought this album just because I really liked Stuff for the Children. And I was like, I'll get the CD and listen to the rest of the album. I'm not the biggest fan of this album. It goes in more, I'd say, like a death metal direction. And yeah, I don't know, it just didn't click with me. I like a lot of other Napalm Death stuff, just not that album. Next we have, it's either Scum or this would be my favorite. We have Nazem Helviet, I believe it's pronounced. This is honestly just an amazing album. I had it on for like 2 days straight when I first got it. Just if you like grindcore, just check out this album. My favorite song on it is probably Scoop. But yeah. I have another one there. CDs in the mail. I actually ordered the day I'm recording this. Next we have My Own Will. They're a deathcore band that played at the venue in my city, and I like their stuff, so I decided to get their album. It was like $5. Pretty good. If you like deathcore, check it out. Ice Pick is probably my favorite song by them. Next, we're moving to some more classic metal. We got some Got some Ozzy Osbourne. We have Blizzard of Oz. My favorite album by him, Ultimate Sin. No More Tears. And then Osmosis. My favorite 2 Ozzy albums are probably Ultimate Sin and Blizzard of Oz. But one of my favorite songs is Hellraiser. I actually got the vinyl they released as a mashup with Motorhead and Ozzy on it. And yeah, that's on No More Tears. Ozzy is weird because like I love his era of Black Sabbath. I really like his solo stuff. It just doesn't hit as hard for me. I know it's probably like not as heavy, and the guitar work, in my opinion, isn't as good. I like Randy Rhoads, but he can't hold a candle to Tony Iommi, in my opinion. And then next we have some more just strange stuff. We have Ozfest live compilation that has Slayer on it, Ozzy obviously, Soulfly, Disturbed. So pretty cool compilation. Then we have Ozzy and his daughter Kelly covering Black Sabbath Changes. I didn't know this existed. I saw it in a bin at a Goodwill and decided to get it. I don't even think I've listened to it. I just bought it because it's weird and I love it. Next, we have Pig Destroyer, Prowl in the Yard. I love Pig Destroyer. As I said, I really like grindcore. This is just an amazing album. It's like 30 minutes and it just doesn't stop. Like, it just hits you hard. It keeps going. So, yeah. I'd like to get their album that came out. I'd like to get all their albums. I really like Pig Destroyer. Next we have 6 Feet Under. This is the only 6 Feet Under CD I have because I really only like this album, their third album. I did listen to their newest album, which was shockingly good because 6 Feet Under haven't been good since like 2006. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Next we have Slayer, Rain and Blood, and Slayer's Repentless. I'm not a huge Slayer fan. I like Rain and Blood a lot, and actually really like Repentless. I feel like a lot of people say it's not a great album, but to me it's pretty good. Yeah, not much I can say. I feel like Slayer's one of those bands that you know them. There's not much to say about them. Next we have a band I have a weird relationship with. We got Slipknot, we have Self-Titled, Iowa, and Volume 3. Slipknot is one of the bands that got me into metal. And I do like the first 3 albums, but not to sound like a grumpy old metal guy, they're not that good. They're very basic metal. And like a lot of stuff that when I was first getting into metal I like for like the first minute of People Equal Shit on Iowa, it sounds like a grindcore song. And that was my favorite part. So to me, I'm like, well, why would I listen to that when I can just go listen to Pig Destroyer or Napalm Death and literally the entire album's like that part. But yeah, I don't really like them anymore. I think these albums are really good, but I find them boring now. Anything they've released after this, I just find boring and watered down. So. Next we have Suicidal Tendencies Prime Cuts. I also put Suicidal Tendencies in my punk video of my punk CD collection. Listening to them more, I still think their first album is undoubtedly just a straight-on hardcore album, but listening to anything after that, they're definitely kind of more thrashy, and I still like them. I think they peaked with their first album, but this is a nice compilation. It has a lot of their songs that I like by them, so yeah, not much to say about them. Next we have some Suicide Silence. We have Black Crown and the Mitch tribute show. This one is pretty cool because it has a lot of their songs live by other singers after their lead singer passed away. So pretty cool. I bought these in a lot because mostly I just wanted the Black Crown because this and The Cleansing are some of my favorite deathcore albums. But it was like $5 more to get this too, and I decided why not. It has the lead singer of Lamb of God doing You Only Live Once, which is cool. Next we have System of a Down's first two albums. I went through a System of a Down phase, mostly just these two albums. I do like some songs on it, like Sugar, Sweet Pea, and then obviously Chop Suey, but I don't know, they just don't do it to me now. I kind of find Surge really pretentious, just because, like, some of the stuff he said about, like, why he doesn't want to do a new System album. So, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, those two albums are great, just anything after that just didn't hook me. We have the final CD, some Violent Force. They are, I wouldn't say underground, but more of an obscure 80s thrash band. They actually released some of their old demos a few years ago after their only album got really popular. So, yeah, I love this album. It's just really good, pure thrash. So if you're into that, I'd check it out. It reminds me a lot of, like, Creator or Sodom or just anything like that. So, yeah, I would check it out if you're into thrash or just looking for something new to listen to. Dead City and Violent Force and Sign of Evil are probably my favorite songs off of it. So, yeah. Well, that is my entire metal CD collection. I think it's about a little less than 100 CDs. My entire collection's like 350, so it's about a third of it. So, if you have any questions, let me know in comments. And just let me know what you want to see next. I'm thinking about possibly doing my vinyl collection next, or going more into, like, my smaller CD collection. I already did punk, but I have, like, a pretty big, like, emo, post-hardcore, 2000s pop punk collection. Just my alternative and grunge CDs, classic rock, stuff like that. Or I also do have if you can probably see in the background, I do collect retro games as well. So if you're interested in that, do a video on that. So just let me know. See you next time. Have a good day.